What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jalani, and today I'm gonna show you how to draw a circle. If you don't know by now, I have here we are. That's all of my paintings, all of my work right here. Also, I create coloring books, so if you'd like to purchase a coloring book, see my coloring book collection, I'll leave a link in the description. It's also my website, so you can check out all my murals and whatnot. I think you get the point. Let's go. I need y'all to lock in. We are creating a circle today. First things first, whoever is watching this, number one rule of thumb I need you to understand, nobody is perfect. No artist, no person, no girl, no boy, no they, no them, no man, no woman, everything in between. Nobody is perfect. So what you create is not going to be perfect. And the people or the artists that you look up to are not perfect. They are artists, they are creatives, and their artwork is just their style that if you happen to love it and people happen to love it. And if you continue on your journey, people will love you'll love your work, people will love your work. There's so many different possibilities and opportunities. All right, so let's get into drawing this circle here. So first things first, at the top you see three different styles of circles. From right to left, we got a fancy, you could say a fancy circle that's shaded, that shows light, that shows shadow. It's a cool piece in my opinion. The second, in the middle circle, you got a doodled, sketchy circle. Honestly, it's usually how I create circles, how I draw circles, how I make circles most times. And on the very far left, you got a perfect circle, a quote unquote, a perfect circle. And you know how I've made this perfect circle on the left? I quote unquote cheated, because to make a perfect circle, the only way and I know that you can make perfect circles it's not necessarily cheating, but it's using tools, whether you use a circumference or you trace it. I'm working on Procreate, and there's a tool there's a tool or there's a code or a combination to press to create a perfect circle. And once you get the hang of making circles, once you made 100 circles, 1,000 circles, however many circles, then you can use tools to make perfect circles, because that sometimes is what you want to create with in your art, whether they're their eyes or pupils or jewelry or just circular shapes, the moon, the sun, different things of that nature. So, or you might want your circle to be more organic, like the one in the middle. So the funny thing is that the one in the middle is what we're going to focus on right now. So how I created the one in the middle is, and how I create most of my circles is, and this is something that I think children struggle with, because like a lot of us as children, we are naturally impatient. So this is what, with my kids, I try to tell them, all you got to do is draw lightly, draw a circle. This is sketching, so you can see a circle forming. Is it a perfect circle? No, but it is definitely a circle nonetheless. And as you can see, I started drawing lightly, and as the circle starts to form, I start pressing down a little bit more until I get a circular shape. And you can go back, you can correct the spots where you think that need some correcting. But all in all, that is a really decent circle, I would say. So what I would do next is I would find the spots I don't really like or that's not really necessary, like this line over here. I'm erasing towards the top on the inside again. And that's again, like people think that art is like needs to be perfect, or how do you do that? How are you so talented? But honestly, it's because mistakes are a part of art. Mistakes, you're bound to make a mistake. And there's no artistic piece, painting, drawing, anything that I do where I don't use an eraser, or if I'm painting, I don't paint over something, paint over a mistake. So all we're doing, it's just like cleaning up. You know what I mean? A room in a house is never going to stay clean 100% of the time, especially if you have kids, or if you have family over, or if you have friends over. So what do you got to do when there's a mess, when someone makes a mess, or the toys get everywhere, or there's clutter? You just clean it up, and there you go. You got a nice little sketched out circle. So that's how I would recommend drawing a circle. You start off lightly, you start off slowly, and you keep building upon the circle. You press a little bit harder once you start seeing the circle, and then eventually you'll have your circle. And then you erase around your mistakes or you clean it up. So that's going to be our circle. As you can see, it looks similar to the one in the middle. And now we're going to get a little fancy and add some depth to the circle. We're going to add some depth, some dimension to the circle by adding shadow. And like I'm doing this on Procreate, but all of this can be done on, excuse me, all of this can be done with a piece of paper. I literally do this all the time on paper, on sketchbooks. Excuse me. I'm just showing you guys this on Procreate because I can screen record and I can display it for the video. So don't think that you need an iPad. Don't think that you need Procreate, especially if you're a beginner. Grab a pencil, grab a paper, and get to it. All right. So next thing we're going to do to add this, to make this circle have like a 3D appearance, is we're going to add shadow. We're going to add value to it. So what we would do is start shading. And again, it's similar to how we made the circle in the first place. I'm gonna grab the right brush and we're gonna start shading. So you're gonna pick shading. If you're adding value or adding shadows to anything, we're using a circle for example right now. But say like even if we're doing faces or a car or like any object, there's always gonna be one side that the light is hitting. Like right now, the light's hitting this side of my face. And so this side has the shadow. And there's different shadows here because of my nose. So it's gonna cast shadow here, or my lip is gonna cast shadow here. Like there's everything is going to cast a shadow and a light. And the more you could accurately depict that, the more you can make things look realistic, in my opinion, from my experience. So yeah. So we're gonna copy, we're gonna mimic the circle in the top right. So if we see it, I'm gonna just draw on this real fast. The light, if we're looking at this circle, the light is hitting the circle right here, and the shadow is being casted right here. So you guys see that? So that's what we're gonna do. So now same thing with when we were making the line work for the circle. We'll start off softly and just build up. So now we started off softly with that. And as we go away from the circle, from the shadow, from the opposite part of where the light is hitting, as we go away from where the shadow is, we're gonna get lighter. So as you can see, it goes from darkness to lightness, and it goes from lightness to darkness. And that's the gradient you want to see. This is future Jalani taking over because we have technical difficulties, but the show must go on. So now I'm just rewatching myself shading this circle. So yeah, as you can see, it looks really good from my point of view. You can see the light source. You can also see where the shadow, the darkest part of the circle is. It's opposite, obviously opposite from where the light is. So the new circle that we have looks a lot like the circle in at the top right, but also it just also has the outline of the circle in the middle. So it has like that sketchy circle we're looking at. We're still going. Oh, it's been a while, so we're gonna cut this part out. All right, so yeah, we basically have our circle. The last cherry on top, if you will, of a detail to the circle is creating the shadow that is casted from the object, or in this case being the circle. So not only is the light creating a shadow inside the circle on the opposite side of the light, of where the light's hitting, it's creating a shadow outside of the circle. Just like how we have shadows that hit the ground or hit the floor. This circle is having a shadow that is outside of itself, and it's its own entity, its own shadow, this circle's shadow hitting a flat surface. And we take our sketchy outline of the circle that started it all, and we have a circle with value, with contrast, with shading, with a light source. And there you go. So yeah, those are 3 different circles and you can do them all. I use a lot of time, I use the middle circle at the top when I'm creating head shapes and faces and eyeballs and different things of that nature. So yeah, but for everything that I draw, unless it's just a sketch, for everything I draw or paint, I'm adding contrast or I'm adding shadows or I'm adding light, highlights and different things of that nature. So I think this was a great depiction of different stages of a circle. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this was a good video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, make sure you share it or like it. And if you have any questions, please comment any questions you have. Like I said, I did this on Procreate so that I could screen record it, but you can do this on paper, you can do this on Canvas. So yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Leave a comment, ask the question, and I'll either respond to you or I could possibly turn it into a video. So you never know. I definitely hope this helps. If you're a beginner, you can do this. If you've been doing it for a while, keep at it because you never know where your art can take you. So hopefully this helps. Till next time. Now.
Hey, if you guys like this video, make sure you check out these videos where we talk more about music, dating, and real life situations. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Make sure you check out these videos and make sure you subscribe. Peace.